Welcome to Coffee and Chatter. This is actually the third volume of my series, It's the Constitution Stupid, and is entitled, Is the Constitution Adequate for the Needs of a Free People? I'd like to begin by reading the 9th and 10th Amendments to the Constitution, which I believe put it all together for the Bill of Rights. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. 9th Amendment. Others referring to other rights. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. 10th Amendment. So, in my opinion, the 9th and 10th Amendments are the final seals put on the Bill of Rights and pretty much wrap it all up. The reins are put on the federal government, a wall is established around federal power, and the states are essentially given free rein to control everything not specifically designated as belonging within the sphere of things to be controlled by the federal powers, the federal government. So what's the problem? What's this whole idea about calling a convention of states? How will calling a convention of states to establish new powers and mandates solve our problems? A number of years ago, locally here, an inebriated citizen fired his weapon into the air on New Year's Eve. Someone was wounded by the stray bullet. That prompted a local councilman to propose a new law making it illegal to fire weapons into the air on holidays such as the 4th of July and New Year's Eve, whatever. The problem, it was already illegal to discharge a firearm in public. Which leads me to conclude that when laws are disobeyed, hey, let's make new laws that can be disobeyed. Furthermore, when the Constitution is ignored, let's propose amendments that can and will be equally ignored. One only has to look at the way the First and Second Amendments are being treated today, and that becomes evident. I contend what some have disagreed with, that the original Convention of States, or the Constitutional Convention, was called with the mandate to propose amendments to the Articles of Confederation, because it was proving inadequate to its task. It was not called as a proposal to write a new constitution. Some conventioneers arrived, however, with different ideas, and thereby arose the disagreements between the Federalists, who wanted more power for the federal government, and the Anti-Federalists, who were against such. Ultimately, the articles were scrapped and a new constitution was presented in its place. However, small government anti-federalists were only finally placated by a promise to return later and establish a Bill of Rights. Now, it's important to understand that the restrictions on government regarding the liberty of we the people in the Bill of Rights were not codified because conventioneers thought they needed to be so. They all understood them. Nobody thought that those restrictions or those rights did not exist. The Bill of Rights was codified because anti-federalists were concerned that the restrictions on federal power and the rights of the people would eventually be forgotten or, worse yet, ignored. Voila! Welcome to 2021. Point. A convention of states is not called with guidelines or restrictions. That's not how it works. Additionally, your team is not guaranteed control over a COS. Progressives as well as conservatives desire that control. Now, based on the clear thinking and level-headedness that I think pervaded colonial America, we were able to survive the first COS. Not everyone was happy, but as founding documents go, hey man, the Constitution's a pretty remarkable piece of work, and I think the Bill of Rights is genius. So, in other words, it could have been a lot worse. I'm not sure I would be as trusting in an America so divided as it is today that a COS would be so successful. In other words, it's like a wild beast. Once it gets out, it's tough to hold it by the tail, though. So maybe before we go to a COS, we should try adhering to the Constitution we already have, and then see if we need more. That probably makes too much sense, though. Hey, thanks for listening today.